Imagine Pericles arrived at Tyre, welcomed and settled to his own desire. His woeful queen we leave at Ephesus, unto Diana there, a votaress. Now to Marina bend your mind, whom our fast-growing scene must find at Tarsus, and by Cleon trained in music's letters, who hath gained of education all the grace, which makes her both the heart and place of general wonder. But alack, that monster envy, oft the rack of earned praise, Marina's life seeks to take off by treason's might. And in this kind our Cleon hath one daughter, and a full-grown wench, even right for marriage sight. This maid hight Philoten, and it is said for certain in our story she would ever with Marina be it when they weave the sledded silk with fingers long, small, white as milk, or when she would with sharp needle wound the cambric which she made more sound by hurting it, or when to the lute she sung and made the night-bird mute that still records with moan, or when she would with rich and constant pen fail to her mistress Dian. Still this Philoten contends in skill with absolute Marina. So the dove of Paphos might with the crow vie feathers white. Marina gets all praises, which are paid as debts and not as given. This so darks in Philoten all graceful marks, that Cleon's wife with envy rare a present murderer does prepare for good Marina, that her daughter might stand peerless by this slaughter. The sooner her vile thoughts to stead, Lycorida our nurse is dead, and cursed Dioniza hath a pregnant instrument of wrath pressed for this blow. The unborn event I do commend to your content. Only I carry winged time post on the lame feet of my rhyme. Never could I so convey, unless your thoughts went on my way. Dioniza doth appear, with Leonine a murderer.
By oath remember, thou hast sworn to do't. 'Tis but a blow which never shall be known. Thou canst not do a thing in the world so soon to yield thee so much profit. Let not conscience, which is but cold, or flaming love, thy bosom enslave too nicely. Nor let pity, which even women have cast off, melt thee, but be a soldier to thy purpose.
I will do it, but yet she is a goodly creature.
The fitter then the god should have her. Here she comes, weeping for her old nurse's death. Thou art resolved?
I am resolved.
No. I will rob Tellus of her womb to strew thy blooming flowers. The yellows, blues, the purple violets, and marigolds shall as a carpet hang upon thy grave, while summer days doth last. I am me, poor maid, born in a tempest when my mother died. This world to me is as a lasting storm, whirring me from my friends.
Oh, now, Marina, why do you keep alone? How chance my daughter is not with you? Do not consume your blood with sorrowing. Have you a nurse of me? Lord, how your favours changed with this unprofitable woe. Come, give me your flowers, ever seen might. Walk with Leonine, the air is quick there, and it pierces and sharpens the stomach. Come, Leonine, take her by the arm, walk with her.
No, I pray you, I'll not bereave you of your servant.
Come, come, I love the king, your father, and yourself with more than foreign heart. We every day expect him here. When he shall come and find our paragon to all reports thus blasted, he will repent the breadth of his great voyage, blame both my lord and me, that we have taken no care to your best courses. Go, I pray you, walk and be cheerful once again. Reserve that excellent complexion, which did steal the eyes of young and old. Care not for me, I can go home alone.
Well, I will go, but yet I have no desire to it.
Come, come, I know 'tis good for you. Walk half an hour, Leonine, at the least. Remember what I've said.
I warrant you, madam.
I'll leave you, my sweet lady, for a while. Pray walk softly. Do not heat your blood. What, I must have care of you.
My thanks, sweet madam. Is this wind westerly that blows?
Southwest.
When I was born, the wind was north.
What's so?
My father, as nurse says, did never fear, but cried good seaman to the sailors, galling his kingly hands hailing ropes, and clasping to the mast, endured a sea that almost burst the deck.
When was this?
When I was born, never was waves nor wind more violent. And from the ladder tackle washes off a canvas climber, ha, says one, wolt out, and with a dropping industry they skip from stem to stern. The boatswain whistles and the master calls and trebles their confusion.
Come, say your prayers.
What mean you?
If you require a little space for prayer, I grant it. Pray, but be not tedious, for the gods are quick of ear, and I am sworn to do my work with haste.
Why will you kill me?
To satisfy my lady.
Why would she have me killed? Now, as I can remember by my troth, I never did her hurt in all my life. I never spake bad word, nor did ill turn to any living creature. Believe me, lo, I never killed a mouse, nor hurt a fly. I trod upon a worm against my will, but I wept for it. How have I offended? Whether my death might yield her any profit, or my life imply her any danger.
My commission is not to reason of the deed, but to do it.
You will not do it for all the world, I hope. You are well favoured, and your looks will show you have a gentle heart. I saw you lately when you caught hurt in parting to that fort. Good sooth, it showed well in you. Do so now. Your lady seeks my life. Come you between and save poor me, the weaker.
I am sworn and will dispatch.
Oh, surprise! Surprise! While beats apart. Come, let's have her aboard suddenly.
These roguing thieves serve the great pirate Vultes. They have seized Marina. Let her go. There's no hope she will return. I'll swear she's dead and thrown into the sea. But I'll see further. Perhaps they will but please themselves upon her, not carry her aboard. If she remain, whom they have ravished must by me be slain.
Boult.
Sir?
Search the market narrowly. Mellor is full of gallants. We lost too much money this mart by being too wenchless.
We were never so much out of creatures. We have but poor 3, and they can do no more than they can do. And they with continual action are even as good as rotten.
Therefore, let us have fresh ones, whatever we pay for them. If there be not a conscience to be used in every trade, we shall never prosper.
Now, so's true. It's not our bringing up of poor bastards, as I think. I've brought up some 11.
I too 11, and brought them down again. But shall I search the market?
What else, man? The stuff we have, a strong wind will blow it to pieces. They're so pitifully sodden.
No, say it's true. There's too unwholesome a conscience. The poor Transylvanian is dead that lay with a little baggage.
Aye, she quickly pooped him, and she made him roast meat for worms. But I'll go search the market.
3,000 or 4,000 check-ins were his prettier proportion to live quietly and so give over.
Why to give over, I pray you? Is it a shame to get when we're old?
Oh, our credit comes not in like the commodity, nor the commodity wages not with the danger. Therefore, if in our youth we could pick up some pretty estate, 'twere not amiss to keep our doors hatched. Besides, the sore terms we stand upon with the gods will be strong with us for giving all.
Come, other sort offend as well as we.
As well as we, aye, and better too. We offend worse. Neither is our profession any trade. It's no calling. But here comes Boult.
Come your ways, my masters. You say she's a virgin?
Oh, sir, we doubt it not.
Master, I have gone through for this piece, you see, if you like us so. If not, I've lost my earnest.
Boult,
Has she any qualities?
She has a good face, speaks well, and has excellent good clothes. There's no farther necessity of qualities can make her be refused.
What's her price, Boult?
It cannot be baited. 1 doit of 1,000 pieces.
Well, follow me, my masters. You shall have your money presently. Wife, take her in. Instruct her what she has to do, that she may not be raw in her entertainment.
Boult, take you the marks of her, the colour of her hair, complexion, her height, age, with warrant of her virginity, and cry, he that will give most shall have her first. Such a maidenhead were no cheap thing, if men were as they have been. Get this done as I command you.
Performance shall follow.
Alack, that Leonine was so slack, so slow. He should have struck, not spoke. Or that these pirates, not enough barbarous, had not all board thrown me for to seek my mother.
Why lament you, pretty one?
But I am pretty.
Come, the gods have done their part in you.
I accuse them not.
You're light into my hands where you like to
The
live.
more my fault escape his hands where I was to die.
Aye, and you shall live in pleasure.
No.
Yes, indeed, shall you, and taste gentlemen of all fashions. You shall fare well. You shall have the difference of all complexions. Would you stop your ears?
Are you a woman?
What would you have me be, and I be not a woman?
An honest woman or not a woman?
Mary, whip the gosling. I think I shall have something to do with you. Come, you're a young, foolish sapling, and must be bowed as I would have you.
Gods defend me.
If it please the gods to defend you by men, then men must comfort you, men must feed you, men must stir you up.
Mistress!
Oh, Boult's returned. Now, sir, hast thou cried her through the market?
I have cried her almost the number of her hairs. I have drawn her picture with my voice.
And I prithee tell me, how dost thou find the inclination of the people, especially the younger sort?
Faith, they listened to me as they would have hearkened to their father's testament. There was a Spaniard's mouth watered, and he went to bed to a very description.
We shall have him here tomorrow with his best ruff on.
Tonight. But, mistress, you know the French knight that cowers in the hams?
Oh, Monsieur Verolles.
He offered to cut a caper at the proclamation, but he made a groan at it and swore he would see it tomorrow.
Well, as for him, he brought his disease hither, here he does but repair it. I know he'll come in our shadow to scatter his crowns in the sun.
Well, if we had of every nation a traveller, we should lodge them with this sign.
Oh, pray you come hither a while. You have fortunes coming upon you. Mark me, you must seem to do that fearfully which you commit willingly. Despise profit where you have most gain. To weep that you live as you do makes pity in your lovers. Seldom but that pity begets you a good opinion, and that opinion a mere profit.
I understand you now.
Oh, take her own, mistress, take her own. These blushes of hers must be quenched with some present practice.
Thou say'st true, faith, so they must. For your bride goes to that with shame, which is her way to go with warrant.
Faith, some do and some do not. But, mistress, if I have bargained for the joint...
Thou mayst cut a morsel off the spit.
I may so.
Who should deny it? Come, young one. I like the manner of your garments
By my faith, they shall not be changed yet.
Boult, spend out in the town. Report what a sojourner we have. You'll lose nothing by custom. When nature framed this piece, she meant thee a good turn. Therefore, say what a paragon she is, and thou hast the harvest of thine own report.
I warrant you, mistress, thunder shall not so await the beds of eels as my giving out of her beauty stirs up the lewdly inclined. I'll bring some tonight.
Come your ways. Follow me.
Fires be hot, knives sharp or waters deep. Untied I still my virgin knot will keep. Diana, aid my purpose.
What have we to do with Diana? Pray you, will you go with us?
Why are you foolish? Can it be undone?
Oh, Dionyza! Such a piece of slaughter the sun and moon there looked upon.
I think you'll turn a child again.
Were I chief lord of all this spacious world, I'd give it to undo the deed. O lady, much less in blood than virtue, yet a princess to equal any single crown of the earth in the justice of compare. O villain Leonine, whom thou hast poisoned too, if thou hast drunk to him to be the kindness becoming well thy fact. What canst thou say when noble Pericles shall demand his child?
That she is dead. Nurses are not the fates. She died at night, I'll say so. Who can cross it? Unless you play the pious innocent and for an honest attribute. cry out she died by foul play.
Oh, go to! Well, well, of all the faults beneath the heavens, the gods do like this worst.
Be one of those that thinks the petty wrens of Tarsus will fly hence and open this to Pericles. I do shame to think of what a noble strain you are, and of how coward a spirit.
To such proceeding, whoever but his approbation added, though not his prime consent, he did not flow from honourable courses.
Be it so, then. Yet none does know but you how she came dead, nor none can know, Leonine being gone. She did disdain my child, and stood between her and her fortunes. None would look on her, but cast their gazes on Marina's face, while ours was blurted at and held a mocking not worth the time of day. It pierced me thorough, and though you call my course unnatural, you not your child well-loving, yet I find it greets me as an enterprise of kindness performed to your sole daughter.
Heavens forgive it!
And as for Pericles, what should he say? We wept after her hearse, and yet we mourn. Her monument is almost finished, and her epitaphs in glittering golden characters express a general praise to her, and care in us at whose expense 'tis done.
Thou art like the harpy, which to betray dost with thine angel's face, seize with thine eagle's talons.
Yeah, like one that superstitiously do swear to the gods the winter kills the flies. But yet I know you'll do as I advise.
Thus time we waste, and long leagues make short. Sail seas in cockles, have and wish but fought, making to take our imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you being pardoned, we commit no crime to use one language in each several clime where our scenes seem to live. I do beseech you to learn of me, who stand in the gaps, to teach you the stages of our story. Pericles is now again thwarting the wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight, to see his daughter, all his life's delight. Old Hellicanus goes along. Behind is left to govern it, you bear in mind, old Escandes, whom Hellicanus late advanced in time to great and high estate. Well-sailing ships and bounteous winds have brought the king to Tarsus. Think his pilot thought so with her steerage, shall your thoughts go on, to fetch his daughter home, who first is gone. Like motes and shadows, see them move a while, your ears unto your eyes I'll reconcile. See how belief may suffer by foul show. This borrowed passion stands for true old woe. And Pericles in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through and biggest tears o'ershowered, leaves Tarsus and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face nor cut his hairs. He puts on sackcloth, and to sea he bears a tempest which his mortal vessel tears. And yet he rides it out. Now please you wit, this epitaph is for Marina writ by wicked Dioniza. The fairest, sweetest, and best lies here, who withered in her spring of year. She was of Taurus the king's daughter, on whom foul death hath made this slaughter. Marina was she called, and at her birth, Thetis being proud, swallowed some part of the earth. Therefore the earth, fearing to be o'erflowed, hath Thetis' birth-child on the heavens bestowed. Wherefore she does, and swears she'll never stint, make raging battery upon shores of flint. No visor does become black villainy so well as soft and tender flattery. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bear his courses to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our scene must play his daughter's woe and heavy well-a-day in her unholy service. Patience then, and think you now are all in Metallin.
Did you ever hear the like?
No, nor never shall do in such a place as this, she being once gone.
But to have divinity preached there, did you ever dream of such a thing?
No, no. Come, I'm for no more bawdy houses. Shall's go hear the Vestrals sing?
I'll do anything now that is virtuous, but I'm out of the road of rutting forever.
Well, I had rather than twice the worth of her that she'd ne'er come here.
Fie upon her. She's able to freeze the god Priapus and undo a whole generation. We must either get her ravished or be rid of her. When she should do for clients her fitment and do me the kindness of our profession, she has me her quirks, her reasons, her master reasons, her prayers, her needs, that she would make a Puritan of the devil if he should cheapen a kiss of her.
Faith, I must ravish her, or she'll disfurnish us of all our cavaliers and make our swearers priests.
Now the pox upon that green sickness for me.
Faith, there's no way to be rid on't but by the weight of the pox. Here comes the Lord Lysimachus disguised.
We should have both lord and lord if the peevish baggage would but give way to customers.
How now? How, a dozen of virginities?
Now the gods to bless your honour.
I'm glad to see your honour in good health.
Oh, you may. So 'tis the better for you that your resorters stand upon sound legs. How now? Wholesome iniquity have you, that a man may deal with all and defy the surgeon?
We have one here, sir, if she would. But there never came her like in Metteline.
If she'd do the deeds of darkness, thou wouldst say.
Your honour knows what 'tis to say, well enough.
Well, call forth, call forth.
For flesh and blood, sir, white or red, you shall see a rose, and she were a rose indeed if she had but...
What, prithee?
Oh, sir, I can be modest.
That dignity's the renown of a board, no less than it gives a good report to a number to be chased.
Here comes that which grows to the stalk, never plucked yet, I can assure you. Is she not a fair creature?
Faith, she would serve after a long voyage at sea. Well, there's for you. Leave us.
I beseech your honour, give me leave a word, and I'll have done presently.
I beseech you do.
First, I would have you note this is an honourable man.
I desire to find him so that I may worthily note him.
Next, he's the governor of this country, and a man whom I'm bound to.
If he govern the country, you are bound to him indeed. But how honourable he is in that, I know not.
I pray you, without any more virginal fencing, will you use him kindly? He'll line your apron with gold.
What he will do graciously, I will thankfully receive.
How you done?
My lord, she's not paced yet. You must take some pains to work her to your manage. Come, we will leave his honour and her together. Go thy ways.
Now, pretty one, how long have you been at this trade?
What trade, sir?
I cannot name, but I shall offend.
I cannot be offended with my trade. Please you to name it.
How long have you been of this profession?
Since I can remember.
Oh, did you go to it so young? Were you a gamester at 5 or at 7?
Earlier too, sir, if now I be one.
Why, the house you dwell in proclaims you to be a creature of sale.
Do you know this house to be a place of such resort, and will come into it? I hear say you're of honourable parts and are the governor of this place.
Why, hath your principal made known unto you who I am?
Who is my principal?
Why, you're her woman, she that sets seeds and roots of shame and iniquity. Oh, you have heard something of my power, and so stand aloof from more serious wooing. But I protest to thee, pretty one, my authority shall not see thee, or else look friendly upon thee. Come, bring me to some private place. Come, come.
If you were born to honour, show it now. If put upon you, make the judgment good that thought you worthy of it.
How's this? Some more beats age.
For me that am a maid, though most ungentle fortune have placed me in this sty, where since I came, diseases have been so dearer than physic. Oh, that the gods would set me free from this unhallowed place, though they did change me to the meanest bird that flies of the purer air.
I did not think thou couldst have spoke so well, nor dreamed thou couldst. Had I brought hither a corrupted mind, thy speech had altered it. Oh, hold, here's gold for thee. Persever in that clear way thou goest, and the gods strengthen thee.
The good gods preserve you.
For me, be you thoughten that I came with no ill intent, for to me the very doors and windows savour vilely. Fare thee well. Thou art a piece of virtue, and I doubt not but thy training hath been noble. Hold, here's more gold for thee. A curse upon him, die he like a thief that robs thee of thy goodness. If thou dost hear from me, it shall be for thy good.
I beseech your honour, one piece for me.
Won't thou damned doorkeeper! Your house, but for this virgin that hath put it, would sink and overwhelm you. Away!
How's this? We must take another course with you. If your peevish chastity, which is not worth a breakfast in the cheapest country under the cope, shall undo a whole household, let me be gilded like a spaniel. Come your ways.
Whither would you have me?
I must have your maidenhead taken off, or the common hangman shall execute it. Come your way. We'll have no more gentlemen driven away. Come your ways, I say.
Now, what's the matter?
Worse and worse, mistress. She has here spoken holy words to the Lord Lysimachus.
Oh, abominable.
He makes our profession, as it were, to stink afore the face of the gods.
Mary, hang her up forever.
The nobleman would have dealt with her like a noble man, and she sent him away as cold as a snowball, saying his prayers too.
Boult, take her away, use her at thy pleasure. Crack the glass of her virginity and make the rest malleable.
And if she were a thornier piece of ground than she is, she shall be ploughed.
Hark you, God.
She conjures away with her. Would she'd never come within my doors. Marry, hang you. She's born to undo us. Will you not go the way of womankind? Marry, come up my dish of chastity with rosemary and bay.
Come, mistress, come your way with me.
Whither wilt thou have me?
To take from you the jewel you hold so dear.
Prithee, tell me one thing first.
Come now, your one thing.
What canst thou wish thine enemy to be?
Why, I could wish him to be my master, or rather my mistress.
Neither of these are so bad as thou art, since they do better thee in their command. Thou hold'st a place for which the pain'st fiend of hell would not in reputation change. Thou art the damned doorkeeper to every coistrel that comes inquiring for his tib. To the choleric fisting of every rogue thy ear is liable. Thy food is such that hath been belched on by infected lungs.
Well, what would you have me do? Go to the wars, would you? Where a man may serve 7 years for the loss of a leg, and have not money enough in the end to buy him a wooden one.
Do anything but this thou doest. Empty old receptacles or common shores of filth, serve by indenture to the common hangman. Any of these ways are yet better than this. For what thou professest, a baboon, could he speak, would own a name too dear, or that the gods would safely deliver me from this place. Here's gold for thee. If that thy master would gain by me, proclaim that I can sing, weave, sew, and dance, with other virtues which I'll keep from boast, and will undertake all these to teach. I doubt not but this populous city will yield many scholars.
But can you teach all this you speak of?
Prove that I can, or take me home again, and prostitute me to the basest groom that doth frequent your house.
Well, I will see what I can do for thee. If I can place thee, I will.
But among honest women.
Oh, faith, my acquaintance lies little amongst them. But since my master and mistress have bought you, that there's no gain but by their consent. Therefore, I will make them acquainted with your purpose, and I doubt not, but I shall find them tractable enough. Come, I'll do for thee what I can. Come your ways.
Marina thus the brothel scapes, and chances into an honest house, our story says. She sings like one immortal, and she dances as goddess-like to her admired lays. Deep clerks she duns, and with her needle composes nature's own shape of bud, bird, branch, or berry, that even her art sisters the natural roses, her inkles silk twine with the rubied cherry, that pupils lack she none of noble race, who pour their bounty on her, and her gain she gives the cursed board. Here we her place, and to her father turn our thoughts again. We left him on the sea, we there him left, where driven before the winds he is arrived, here where his daughter dwells, and on this coast suppose him now at anchor. The city is hived, god Neptune's annual feast to keep, from whence Lysimachus, our Tyrian ship, espies, his banner sable trimmed with rich expense, and to him in his barge with fervour hies. In your supposing once more put your sight of heavy Pericles, think this his bark, where what is done in action, more if might, shall be discovered. Please you, sit and hark.
Where is Lord Hellicanus? He can resolve you. Oh, here he is. Sir, there is a barge put off from Mellor, and in it is Lysimachus the governor, who craves to come aboard. What is your will?
That he have his. Call up some gentlemen.
Oh, gentlemen, My lord calls.
Doth your lordship call?
Gentlemen, there is some of worth would come aboard. I pray greet him fairly.
Sir, this is the man that can in aught you would resolve you.
Hail, reverend sir. The gods preserve you.
And you, sir, to outlive the age I am and die as I would do.
You wish me well. Being on shore, honouring of Neptune's triumphs, seeing this goodly vessel ride before us, I made to it to know whence you are.
First, what is your place?
I am the governor of this place you lie before.
Sir, our vessel is of Tyre, in it the king. A man who for this 3 months hath not spoken to anyone, nor taken sustenance but to prorogue his grief.
On what ground is his distemperature?
It would be too tedious to repeat, but the main grief springs from the loss of a beloved daughter and a wife.
May we not see him?
You may, but bootless is your sight. He will not speak to any.
Yet let me obtain my wish.
Behold him. This was a goodly person. Till the disaster but one mortal night drove him to this.
Sir King, all hail. The gods preserve you. Hail, royal sir.
It is in vain. He will not speak to you.
Sir, we have a maid in Metteline I durst wager would win some words of him.
'Tis well bethought. She, questionless with her sweet harmony and other chosen attractions, would allure and make a battery through his deafened ports, which now are midway stopped. She is all happy as the fairest of all, and with her fellow maid is now upon the leafy shelter that abuts against the island's side.
Sure, all effectless, yet nothing will omit that bears recovery's name. But since your kindness we have stretched thus far, let us beseech you that for our gold we may provision have, wherein we are not destitute for want, but weary for the staleness.
Oh, sir, courtesy, which if we should deny, the most just God for every graff would send a caterpillar, and so inflict our province. Yet, once more let me entreat to know at large the cause of your king's sorrow.
Sit, sir. I will recount it to you. But see, I am prevented.
Oh, here's the lady that I sent for. Welcome, fair one. Is not a goodly present?
She's a gallant lady.
She's such a one that were I well assured came of a gentle kind and noble stock, I wish no better choice, and think me rarely wed. Fair one, all goodness that consists in bounty, expect even here, where is a kingly patient. If that thy prosperous and artificial feet can draw him but to answer thee in aught, thy sacred physic shall receive such pay as thy desires can wish.
Sir, I will use my utmost skill in his recovery, provided that none but I and my companion maid be suffered to come near him.
Come, let us leave her, and the gods make her prosperous. Your music?
No, nor looked on us.
See, she will speak to him.
Hail, sir. My lord, lend ear. I am a maid, my lord, that ne'er before invited eyes, but have been gazed on like a comet. She speaks, my lord, that may be hath endured a grief might equal yours, if both were justly weighed. Though wayward fortune did malign my state, my derivation was from ancestors who stood equivalent to mighty kings. But time hath rooted out my parentage, and to the world and awkward casualties bound me in servitude. I will desist. But there is something glows upon my cheek and whispers in mine ear, go not till he speak.
My fortunes, parentage, good parentage to equal mine. Was it not thus? What say you?
I said, my lord, if you did know my parentage, you would not do me violence.
I do think so. Pray you, turn your eyes upon me. You are like something that... What countrywoman? Here, of these shores?
No, nor of any shores. Yet I was mortally brought forth, and am no other than I appear.
I am great with woe, and shall deliver weeping. My dearest wife was like this maid, and such a one my daughter might have been. My queen's square brows, her stature to an inch, as wand-like straight, as silver-voiced, her eyes as jewel-like, and cased as richly. In pace, another Juno, who starves the ears she feeds and makes them hungry the more she gives them speech. Where do you live?
Where I am but a stranger. From the deck you may discern the place.
Where were you bred? And how achieved you these endowments which you make more rich to owe?
If I should tell my history, it would seem like lies disdained in the report.
Prithee speak. Falseness cannot come from thee, for thou look'st modest as justice, and thou seemst a palace for the crown truth to dwell in. I will believe thee, and make my senses credit thy relation to points that seem impossible. For thou look'st like one I loved, indeed. What were thy friends? Didst thou not say, when I did push thee back, which was when I perceived thee, thou camest from good descending?
So indeed I did.
Report thy parentage. I think thou saidst that thou hadst been tossed from wrong to injury, and that thou thoughtst thy griefs might equal mine, if both were opened.
Some such thing I said, and said no more. But what my thoughts did warrant me was likely.
Tell thy story. If thine considered prove 1,000th part of my endurance, thou art a man, and I have suffered like a girl. Yet thou dost look like patience, gazing on kings' graves, and smiling extremity out of act. What were thy friends? How lost thou thy name? My most kind virgin, the Count, I do beseech thee. Come, sit by me.
My name is Marina.
Oh, I am mocked. And thou by some insensate god sent hither to make the world laugh at me.
Patience, good sir, or here I'll cease.
Nay, I'll be patient. Thou little knowest how thou dost startle me to hear thee call thyself Marina.
The name was given me by one that had some power, my father, and a king.
How? A king's daughter, and called Marina?
You said you would believe me, but not to be a troubler of your peace, I will end here.
But have you flesh and blood? Have you a working pulse and art no fairy? Motion as well? Speak on. Where were you born? And wherefore called Marina?
Called Marina, for I was born at sea.
At sea? What mother?
My mother was the daughter of a king, who died the minute I was born, as my good nurse Lycorida hath oft delivered weeping.
Oh, stop there a little. This is the rarest dream that ere dulled sleep did mock sad fools withal. This cannot be my daughter, buried. Well, where were you bred? I'll hear you more to the bottom of your story and never interrupt you.
You scorn. Believe me, 'twere best I did give her.
I will believe you by the syllable of what you shall deliver. Yet give me leave. How came you in these parts? Where were you bred?
The king, my father, did in Tarsus leave me, till cruel Cleon with his wicked wife did seek to murder me, and having wooed a villain to attempt it, whom having drawn to do't, a crew of pirates came and rescued me, brought me to Mellor. But, good sir, whither will you have me? Why do you weep? It may be you think me an imposture. No, good faith. I am the daughter to King Pericles, if good King Pericles be.
Oh, Hellicanus,
Calls, my lord.
thou art a grave and noble counsellor, most wise in general. Tell me, if thou canst, what this maid is, or what is like to be, that thus hath made me weep.
I know not, but here's the regent, sir, of Metteline speaks nobly of her.
She never would tell her parentage being demanded. That she would sit still and weep.
Oh, Hellicanus, strike me on it, sir. Give me a gash. Put me to present pain, lest this great sea of joys rushing upon me, or bear the shores of my mortality and drown me with their sweetness. Oh, come hither, thou that begettest him that did thee beget, thou that wast born at sea, buried at Tarsus, and found at sea again. O Hellicanus, down on thy knees, thank the holy gods as loud as thunder threatens us. This is Marina. What was thy mother's name? Tell me but that, for truth can never be confirmed enough, though doubts did ever sleep.
First, sir, I pray, what is your title?
I am Pericles of Tyre, but tell me now my drowned queen's name. As in the rest you said thou hadst been godlike perfect, the heir of kingdoms and another life to Pericles thy father.
Is it no more to be your daughter than to say, my mother's name was Thaisa. Thaisa was my mother who did end the minute I began.
Now blessing on thee rise, thou art my child. Give me fresh garments, mine own Hellicanus. She is not dead at Tarsus as she should have been by savage Cleon. She shall tell thee all when thou shalt kneel, and justify in knowledge she is thy very princess. Who is this?
Sir, 'tis the governor of Metteline, who, hearing of your melancholy state, did come to see you.
I embrace you. Give me my robes. I am wild in my beholding. Oh, heavens, bless my girl. But hark, what music! Tell Hellicanus, my Marina. Tell him all, point by point, for yet he seems to doubt how sure you are my daughter. But what music?
My lord, I hear none.
None. The music of the spheres. List, my Marina.
'Tis not good to cross him. Give him way.
Rarest sounds. Do ye not hear?
Music, my lord.
I hear most heavenly music. It lifts the intimacy, and a thick slumber hangs upon mine eyes.
A pillow for his head. So, leave him all. Well, my companion friends, if this would answer to my just belief, I'll well remember you.
My temple stands in Ephesus. Hie thee thither, and do upon mine altar sacrifice. There, when my maiden priests are met together, before the people all, reveal how thou at sea didst lose thy wife. To mourn thy crosses with thy daughters, call and give them repetition to the life. Perform my bidding, or thou liv'st in woe. Do it, and happy by my silver bow. Awake, and tell thy dream.
Celestial Diane, Goddess Argentine, I will obey thee. Hellicanus,
Sir,
my purpose was for Tarsus, there to strike the inhospitable Cleon. But I am for other service first. Toward Ephesus turn our blown sails. Eftsoons I'll tell thee why. Shall we refresh us, sir, upon your shore, and give you gold for such provision as our intents will need?
Sir, with all my heart. And when you come ashore, I have another suit.
You shall prevail, were it to woo my daughter, for it seems you have been noble toward her.
Sir, lend me your arm.
Come, my Marina.
Now our sands are almost run. More a little, and then done. This my last boon give me, for such kindness must relieve me, that you aptly will suppose what pageantry, what feats, what shows, what minstrelsy and pretty din the regent made in Metteline to greet the king. So he thrived that he is promised to be wife to fair Marina, but in no wise till he had done his sacrifice, as Diane bade. Whereto being bound, the interim pray you all confound. In feathered briefness sails are filled, and wishes fall out as they're willed. At Ephesus the temple see, Our king and all his company, that he can hither come so soon, is by your fancies thankful due.
Hail, Diane, to perform thy just command, I here confess myself the king of Tyre, who frighted from my country did wed at Pentapolis the fair Dioniza. At sea in childbed died she, but brought forth a maid child called Marina, who, O goddess, wears yet thy silver livery. She at Tarsus was nursed with Cleon, who at 14 years he sought to murder, but her better stars brought her to Metallene, gainst whose shore riding her fortunes brought the maid aboard us, where by her own most clear remembrance she made known herself my daughter.
Voice and favor, you are, O royal Pericles.
What means the nun? She dies. Help, gentlemen.
Noble sir, if you have told Diana's altar true, this is your wife.
Reverend Appearer, no, I threw her overboard with these very arms.
Upon this coast, I warrant you.
'Tis most certain.
Look to the lady. Oh, she's but overjoyed. Early, one blustering morn, this lady was thrown upon this shore. I oped the coffin, found their rich jewels, recovered her, and placed her here in Diana's temple.
May we see them?
Great sir, they shall be brought you to my house, whither I invite you. Look, Thaisa is recovered.
Let me look. If he be none of mine, my sanctity will to my sense bend no licentious ear, but curb it, spite of seeing. Oh, my lord, are you not Pericles? Like him you spake, like him you are. Did you not name a tempest, a birth, and death?
The voice of dead Thaisa.
That Thaisa am I, supposed dead and drowned.
Immortal Diane.
Now I know you better. When we with tears parted Pentapolis, the king my father gave you such a ring.
This, no more, you gods. Your present kindness makes my past miseries sports. You shall do well that on the touching of her lips I may melt and no more be seen. Oh, come, be buried a second time within these arms.
My heart leaps to be gone into my mother's bosom.
Look who kneels here, flesh of thy flesh, Thaisa, thy burden at the sea, and called Marina, for she was yielded there.
Blessed and mine own.
Hail, madam, and my queen.
I know you not.
You have heard me say when I did fly from Tyre, I left behind an ancient substitute. Can you remember what I called the man? I have named him off.
'Twas Hellicanus, then.
Still confirmation. Embrace him, dear Thaisa. This is he. Now do I long to hear how you were found, how possibly preserved, and who to thank beside the gods for this great miracle.
Lord Cerimon, my lord, this man from whom the gods have shown their power that can from first to last resolve you.
Reverend sir, the gods can have no mortal officer more like a god than you. Will you deliver how this dead queen relives?
I will, my lord. Beseech you first, go with me to my house, where shall be shown you all was found with her, how she came placed here in the temple, no needful thing omitted.
Pure Diane, I bless thee for thy vision. I will offer night oblations to thee. Thaisa, this prince, the fair betrothed of your daughter, shall marry her at Pentapolis. And now this ornament makes me look dismal, will I clip to form. And what this 14 years no razor touched, to grace thy marriage day, I'll beautify.
Lord Cerimon hath letters of good credit. Sir, my father's dead.
Heavens make a star of him. Yet there, my queen, we'll celebrate their nuptials, and ourselves will in that kingdom spend our following days. Our son and daughter shall in Tyrus reign. Lord Cerimon, we do our longing stay to hear the rest untold. Sir, lead us the way.
In Antiochus and his daughter, you have heard of monstrous lust, the due and just reward. In Pericles, his queen and daughter seen, although assailed with fortune fierce and keen, virtue preserved from fell destruction's blast, led on by heaven and crowned with joy at last. Hellicanus, may you well descry a figure of truth, of faith, of loyalty. In reverend Cerimon there well appears the worth that learned charity aye wears. For wicked Cleon and his wife, when fame had spread his cursed deed, the honored name of Pericles to rage the city turn, that him and his they in their palace burn. The gods for murder seemed so content to punish, although not done, but meant. So, on your patience evermore attending, new joy wait on you, here our play has ended.
Here.